you got the two things going on. They're denying that there's really such thing as witchcraft, but you've got magic going on. And then comes what we talked about in the very first session we had, the Christian emphasis on reason, the Christian commitment to reason. Christianity is a theological religion. Stark makes a big deal about this. He thinks this is the number one thing that sets Christianity apart. It's Christianity is not satisfied with mystery meditation, but relentlessly seeks to ground its entire system of beliefs in logic and reason. Now, a lot of people wouldn't think that's true about Christianity today. Christianity is attacked for being, just a belief without evidence or blind faith and that sort of thing. But
And
that isn't
anti-science.
accurate. And anti-science, yeah. But that just isn't the accurate history of the church. So, but Stark says this admirable use of reason actually ends up being problematic when it comes to this issue. So, for the ancient Romans and Greeks, they devoted little time or effort explaining why magic works, because magic does seem to work at least some of the time. I mean, I've got friends that sell patches for pain that's supposed to do really good. I mean, any sort of remedy you got, you got the placebo effect, it's going to work some of the time, if for no other reason but that. And so the Greeks didn't, and Romans didn't bother even trying to explain that. But Christian thinkers want to know why. Why did the magic work, or at least seem to work?
Now, can I interrupt for a second,
right
Michael?
ahead.
Like,
yeah,
when I think of the words magic, I'm thinking beyond just putting a bunch of ingredients together and coming up with a formula. I'm thinking a call to the spirit realm in some way. Am I overstepping there, or is it?
You're bringing up
mix?
exactly the right issue. That's exactly the distinction that we need to make here, and we're going to see that the church does make that distinction. The best history we have is that the pagan magic that was being done in the early church time had nothing to do with Satan or calling upon demons, at least not knowingly. And so and it can't be if the church considered magic, if there was church magic, right? But remember now, the church believes in the supernatural, and the Catholic Church not only believed in God, but in Mary and her ability to influence the world as well as God, and various saints and angels who may be active agents. And so when church magic was working, it kind of made sense that there was an explanation for it. There was this supernatural agents, or these supernatural agents, who were deciding whether or not to let it work or make it work. But what do you do then about the non-church magic that seems to work? It's certainly not going to be any of these church figures that would have allowed that to happen. Therefore, you're only left with some evil spirits, evil supernatural agents, and especially then Satan. So eventually, the church developed this thinking that Satan was the power behind non-church magic that was working, and hence to practice non-church magic constituted invoking Satan and his demons, and that is the definition of witchcraft. But there is this distinction that there can be a magic maybe that doesn't involve witchcraft. But the two came together as we moved into the 13th century or so. So it's as we're out of the Dark Ages and beginning in the Renaissance is when this happened, not during the Dark Ages. So it was a short step to deduce that thousands of the wise ones, that was the term given to practitioners of magic, were involved in satanic dealings, and the witch hunts were born.
Okay, just for clarification purposes here, what would be symptoms of a witch under this definition? Because I can think of, for example, I have a book of medicinal plants, for example, that are, if you take this plant and boil it and whatever, it acts as a topical anesthetic or whatever. Would that be included? People, let's say herbalists, people who found out that there were certain plants that were medicinal and they mixed those together, would they be classified as, because it's not really church activities here, we're just making some medicine.
Yeah, the dividing line there between that, I'm not entirely sure, because I mean, no doubt there was the use of herbs and plant life to try to cure illnesses or symptoms of illnesses. At what point it was called witchcraft, I'm afraid I didn't come across anything that answered that question.